Inside this hotel room,
It's about a 2-hour process.
there's a transformation going on.
A lot of prep work.
4 men on the road,
Yes, you do live out of a suitcase.
adored by fans
But the reaction from the crowd, it's amazing sometimes.
that aren't their own.
Some people think you really are them.
The year is 2003, but picture this. They're reliving 1978
Are you guys ready for a good time?
at the KISS convention.
KISS, the hottest band in the land.
Awesome.
A lot of these people are lifelong fans.
They're a true rock band.
Who are these diehards?
I've seen KISS perform live 190 times.
Still living in the past?
There's architects, doctors, lawyers here, police, firemen.
And more.
I became a dentist. I wouldn't quit because they never quit, and they taught me that if you want to be something, just go for it.
25 major KISS conventions every year in the U.S., hundreds of others worldwide, honoring the most merchandised band in history.
You can look anywhere on your body or around your house, KISS will put their name on it.
You got inflatable chairs, baseballs, dolls, trash cans, neckties, race cars, comic books.
Fans are KISS crazy.
Even creations conjured up by fans.
Original KISS album that was converted into a clock.
And a line of t-shirts longer than Gene Simmons' famous tongue. At this convention, ex-member Bruce Kulick stopped by, and so did the band's former manager, a 1970s visionary who knew the music was just part of the lure.
They like the makeup. They like the characters.
Come to a convention like this, and it's easy to see why this KISS is contagious. In King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, I'm Brad Sapp. Say your name again for me.
Stephen Campbell.
Where are we?
Where are we? We're at the 6th Annual Philadelphia KISS Convention in King of Prussia.
And how do you draw all these people?
How do we draw the people? By advertising. Word of mouth, internet, newspaper, radio, everywhere. Flyers, the fans know. It's a tight-knit family.
But KISS was big 20 years ago.
Or 30 years ago,
Yeah.
but they're still big. And I mean, it's a lot different with KISS than any other bands because there is that underground diehard following that, whether it's fanzines or KISS conventions, collectors networks, and everything else. It's like that Grateful Dead following, and they're the best fans in the world.
Give me your average, tell me about your average KISS fan. What do they have in common? What links them all together?
Well, you know, the common denominator there would obviously be their love for the band. You know, it's, you know, they don't care, you know, throughout their lives, a lot of these people are lifelong fans. Throughout their life, they don't care what's cool, what's in, what's hip, what other people are saying, you know. They love KISS, and if other people don't get it, it doesn't matter.
But a lot of these bands, you know, back from the 70s have long since died out. What keeps the fan base strong? I mean, obviously it's the music, but
Yeah.
99% of the others are long gone.
Well, when it comes to the conventions, what really keeps a convention strong is, you know, the memorabilia. You can't have a memorabilia convention without a memorabilia, and they were obviously the most merchandised band of all time. So, other things, you know, they're just a different band than other people, you know. God love Led Zeppelin, but you don't see anyone dressing up as John Paul Jones for Halloween. It just doesn't work.
So, you know, back then, I mean, the costumes, so in other words, the costumes is a big part of it.
Costumes, it's the whole, I mean, you know, the core obviously is the tunes, the albums. You know, when you play an album, you don't get explosions, you don't get anything, you just get the tunes. So, you know, to all these people, myself included, they're the best rock band of all time. On top of that, the makeup, the live show, the memorabilia, everything, it just made it special. It was like icing.
They've got to be the most recognized band of all time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And tell me about your personal interest, how you got involved and led up to this amazing hobby that you have.
I've been a lifelong, you know, fan, lifelong collector, and you know, we've been doing this on the side. I started like a long time ago in the late '80s, and you know, I have different KISS conventions in different cities, and you know, it's an expensive hobby collecting. You know, these conventions, I started it up to buy that stuff, and it's been growing and it's growing, and you know, there's one in pretty well every major city. There's no convention network like it for any other band. You can't have a you know, a Madonna convention. You can't have a Led Zeppelin convention. There are Beatles, Elvis, and Kiss, and that's pretty well all you can have.
Because of the fan base.
Because, not so much because of the fan base and numbers, but because of the type of fans. You know, like the Kiss Army, you're just not going to get better fans than these guys. And, you know, there is the memorabilia out there.
Right. And to see people dressed up like some of these guys are?
You know, I've been seeing it for 30 years. You know, all the conventions, people are dressed up. Every convention has a Kiss copy band. You know, like a duplicate of one of their 70s tours, full costumes, full show. You know, there'll be one today, and you know, it's just there's so much, it's so deep, and you know, it's going to live on forever.
You were talking a little bit about the merchandise. What kind of things are out there?
No, absolutely everything under the sun. You know, you can look anywhere on your body or around your house. Kiss will put their name on it. Kiss microphones, you know, Kiss shoes, Kiss clothing, you know, Kiss coffins, Kiss condoms. Obviously all the regular merchandise, posters, you know, memorabilia, t-shirts, everything, but a lot of toys. That's pretty well the heart and soul of these conventions were always the 70s toys, you know, that Aucoin management put out. And that's really the classic memorabilia, but since they've got back together and, you know, all the years, 3 decades worth of memorabilia, it's all here.
And last question, we were talking, which sort of leads me back to the beginning, is, you know, talking about your average fan and, you know, what they all have in common. Who are these people? When they're not big Kiss enthusiasts, what do they do for a living?
It's everything under the sun, from A to Z. There's architects, doctors, lawyers here, police, firemen. There's people who are unemployed. You know, the one thing great about Kiss is, you know, there's a lot of people through their lives. Maybe they weren't the most popular guy in school. They weren't they weren't the prettiest girl. But there's something about the band that gave a lot of these people, you know, an escape. And, you know, that's something, you know, all
Still
with
does.
it absolutely still does. But, you know, that's the one great thing about the band. It gave these people not just like their favorite band, but heroes and, you know, some sort of an escape for, you know, a long time.
Anything else, Matt?
I don't know any.
Look at it though, because time's never. All right, great.
W-O-R-L-E-Y.
And you're from where?
Toledo.
Why are you here today?
To see, well, we were here yesterday to see Peter Criss, and we came here today to see Bruce Kulick.
I have a feeling it's not the first time.
No, we've been to several.
Why? What's the thrill? What keeps bringing you back?
Kiss, the hottest band in the land.
How many conventions have you been to?
20, 30 or so.
And how many concerts have you been to?
Well, I've been to several myself. My wife's been to a few, and then we've been to a few together.
What makes this band so hot? We're talking, I mean, they were big like 30 years ago, and I know they're still doing some performing, but to draw a crowd like this, to get you in makeup, and to get you to drive hundreds of miles, for people who don't know, what are they missing? What don't they get?
The music is down-to-earth music. People can relate to it. They're a true rock band. There's nothing hidden with them. You know, what they say is what they say.
How big is like the mask, the paint? How much, I mean, back then, that was a big deal. Is that one of the things that keeps them as big outside of the music?
I would say so. That's what drew me to them when I was 6 years old.
Say that again?
6 years old and 7 years old, that's what drew me to them. The makeup and then listening to their albums, and that's what I wanted for Christmas. Kiss.
Still, right?
It's still. It's
And what about
Kiss.
your kids? I mean, you see them all painted up. Have they learned a lot about it? Are they as into it?
Yeah, they any Kiss thing they see, well, we got to get it for Dad. They like coming to the conventions. We have a room in our house that's strictly dedicated to Kiss. The floor says Kiss. Pinball machines, anything you can think of that Kiss has is in that room, and it's under lock and key.
Now, do all of your friends and family get it? Or do some of them say, what's up with this guy?
Some of my friends and family, they're, you know, it's cool. Some of them are like, how, why, and how, you know.
And tell me about, and that's okay,
It takes to do the makeup about an hour, hour and a half. Then to put the costume on another, say a half hour because it's tight fitting and hard to get into. And I do it just because when I come here, people want their picture taken. And it's being Gene can't be here, then I want to represent Gene, you know, and with my kids as well.
And what kind of reaction do you get?
A lot of people, you know, it's cool. They want, you know, the pictures taken with me. You know, just so that way they can maybe show their kids, you know, hey, this is, you know, what we did, you know.
And what do you do for a living?
I own Quality Lawn Care.
And normal business hours, you're not in costume.
No, no.
How many times a year are you all decked out?
Any convention we go to on Halloween, and that's pretty much it. You know, I walk around the house a lot, sticking my tongue out and just, you know, being Gene with nothing.
And we were going to do sort of like a little tongue thing. Let's see your best imitation. Keep it up. Put it back in and then out. Years of practice, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Very good. Why don't we're going to move.
I want to play my video game.
First of all, we just want to check our mic. Can you count to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That sound right? Okay, and just look at me. I'm going to ask you, tell me your names.
James and Jessica Worley.
Jessica, Jessica.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
James
James. And say your last name.
Worley.
How old are you guys?
I'm 10.
10,
I'm 11.
11. Well, tell me about who are you guys supposed to be?
I'm Paul Stanley. And I'm Peter Chris.
Now, what do you think of your dad bringing you and your mom bringing you to these conventions?
I like it. Yeah, it's fun.
How come? Have you learned a lot about Kiss?
Yeah.
You weren't here obviously when they were really big. Are they one of your favorite bands?
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah. Because their songs are really great and I like their makeup and stuff and their costumes. Okay, I like their costumes, the makeup, really good band, and because they put me on TV.
It's one of the, I don't blame you. So you guys travel all over the place. You live in Ohio, and how long did it take you to get here?
About 9 hours.
8 or 9 hours. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Have you met any of the band members before?
Yeah, we met Peter Chris, Bruce Kulick, and one time Eric Singer. Yeah.
And tell me about this room in your house.
Well, we have a lot of Kiss stuff. We got all this glass, and when you jump around, it shakes. And our floors say Kiss. We got posters hanging from the ceiling, and the walls are so crowded that you can't even hang like something this big on the wall anywhere, even if you put the things like up together like this. Because my dad has so much stuff. He has stuff stored away in little boxes and all over sitting on the floor.
Now, you guys are 10 and 11 years old. Most 10 and 11 years old, their favorite band isn't Kiss, is it?
No.
So what do your friends think?
Well, my friends... Okay, you can go first.
Well, a few of my friends, one of them, who's mine and my cousin's friend, he likes Journey, and we kind of tag along together doing stuff. And then I got a few friends who don't think nothing of it. They think the band's pretty cool.
And my friends, a couple of my friends, their parents like the band, so they kind of think their bands are good. And some of my friends, they've never heard of the band.
Really?
Now back to the room question thing, since she wouldn't let me talk.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, we have the room, the floor that says Kiss. My dad has the dolls, the pinball machine.
You name it, he's got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It sounds like you didn't have much of a choice. If your dad likes Kiss so much, you were forced to, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really forced to because if I don't like it, I really don't have to. My dad don't care if I don't like the band a lot, but I really like it because I'm used to hearing the songs around the house.
Do you have a favorite record or a favorite song?
My favorite song is, I got two of them. The Red and Beth.
I got 4. Yeah, Beth, actually 5. Beth, I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll, and what else do I got? I got Strange Ways, then I got 2 others that are off cycle circuit.
Well, that's okay. Let me ask you one last question. Of all time, who is your favorite band?
Kiss.
Same. I'm just agreeing with you.
Good job.
All right.
try to do $5 full time. I'll have to buy a picture. What's your name?
It's actually upside down.
It's actually upside down. All right. Too bad I got to sign it on the back.
Yeah, you can sign on the back.
See, but I don't want to sign it on the back.
Oh, you can sign on the back.
There you go. There you go. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. Ah. Oh, Tammy. Yeah. Well.
Made by the fans for the fans. If you want to, that's their car.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really interesting. People like that. Passed away.
Right.
Right.
Now, where do you get a lot of these things today? None of them are manufactured anymore.
Yeah, the newer merchandise is manufactured and sold through Spencer's company.
Okay.
Correct.
Spencer Gifts?
Spencer
Okay.
Gifts, that's correct. And the older stuff from the 70s pretty much was sold throughout KB Toys and Spencer's and different things, and now it's just, you know, passes through the hands of all the dealers and buy, sell, and trade.
Worth some money.
Worth some money, 1977. Garbage can. Aucoin, Bill Aucoin's here, the manager from KISS.
Right.
All the stuff from 1977 with Bill Aucoin's name on it's worth a pretty good buck.
Yeah. And you go to a lot of the shows. How's your sound? Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
You go to a lot of these shows.
A lot of the shows, yep.
What do they all have in common? I mean, tell me about these fans. They just love KISS. All
The fans are KISS crazy.
What's that?
The fans are KISS crazy. They're looking to buy, sell, and trade memorabilia from the band.
Yeah.
It's like an obsession.
Do you do this kind of as a hobby, or is this full time for you?
For me, I do it as a hobby, but I might want to talk to Frank.
Right, right. But do you enjoy it? I mean, it's
I enjoy it, yeah.
just
Been doing it since I was 9. Collector, fan.
most of these bands are long gone. What keeps KISS alive and well?
KISS has a fan base of their own called the KISS Army, and they followed them, and they're still strong.
And the merchandise, you were talking, I see a KISS water fountain.
Right. KISS is the biggest merchandise band in the world, so they make everything. You name it. Water fountains, condoms, to garbage cans and magazines. So.
Say your name for me.
Jim.
Jim and your last name.
Frangella.
Spell it.
Frangella.
And where are you from?
Chicago.
Okay. Thanks
Right.
so much, Jim.
Wait, Kenny.
I thought it was just a picture. Okay. Oh, I got cheated.
Yeah. We got the stereo going. You can turn it louder.
Take a look at it. I saw another
This is virtual line?
Yep. Snap your hand so you want to know.
All right, thank you.
Okay, this will be on channel 17. Do they have an updated? That's 96. We need what? 2000.
This is vintage.
Vintage, right?
Vintage. Can't get them anymore.
You do this for a living, or is this more of a hobby?
Just strictly a hobby. It's been about probably about 20 years now. Been a fan since '76, I guess.
I mean, it seems like you name it, they make it with the name Kissel.
Absolutely. How about a Kiss coffin?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's about $5,500, and Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are selling them.
A coffin, a casket. You can be buried in it.
And it doubles as a cooler. It's lined so that you can seal it and use it as a cooler, and then when you're pass away, then you get buried in it.
Now that's a fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, though.
I mean, what do you got there?
It's actually a Kiss clock. It's an original Kiss album that was converted into a clock. It's actually my best friend makes them, and we just came down to either trade them or sell them.
There's a market, gotta be, right?
Oh yeah, we actually just traded it to one of the vendors over there. So we're just going along, see if anybody would want them.
What do you sell them for? How much?
$30. Some people like them. They want them. They're there.
That's pretty cool.
Sure. Life is good. See, I was talking. See, this gentleman wanted to know.
Go ahead. Go right ahead. It seems like, talk about merchandising. I mean, we even have comic books?
Even more than that, there's comics, t-shirts, patches, stickers, decals, underwear, everything.
Kiss just doesn't die, huh?
It won't. It won't.
Why is that?
I don't know. There are too many fans. Too many fans. They're a great band, and so it's the best band in the world. So. Yeah, this is the third line of comic book they make. The first one came out. That was the first one over there. This is the second one. The third one. Yeah, big time.
What's the hottest selling item?
T-shirts. T-shirts are the hottest item. Everybody wants to have and needs to have a T-shirt of Kiss.
And I see a lot of young people here, young kids. They're getting into it too, I guess, through their parents.
Through the parents, yes. I got in through my brother, older brother, and my kid is into it because of me. So, Ivan.
Ivan, what's your last name?
Munguia. M-U-N-G-U-I-A. Mexico City.
Mexico City, all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
So you came here from Mexico City to be at this KISS convention?
Yes, I got all conventions all the way from Australia to Japan, Mexico, US, everywhere.
How many KISS fans are out there?
Millions, millions and millions. Everywhere you go, you're gonna find a KISS fan. Everywhere. No matter what language. It just
KISS Expo, we got so much good stuff going on today. It's going to drive you guys nuts. We got coming up here in a few minutes. We got Bruce Kulick going to come up here and he's going to do what he do best. And he's going to put on a little show just for you guys. We got a Q&A with Bruce coming up. Look at the schedule here. All right, at 2 o'clock we got a Q&A with Bruce. So if you guys got some questions, get them ready. He's going to answer everything. At 2:30, Bruce is going to be signing autographs for everybody. And you know, he's got a table over there. He's got some CDs. He's got some photos. He's got cool stuff with nice people running the table. So be sure to go over there and pay him a visit. 3 o'clock today, we got Mr. Bill Aucoin coming up here, and he's going to answer all the questions, give you the answers you guys want to know. You know the drill. At about 4 o'clock, he's going to be signing autographs for everybody. And at 5:30, we got the tribute band Love Gun. And all throughout the day, we got a bunch of door prizes we're going to be giving out courtesy of the KISS shop over there. And when you came in, everybody, I'm hoping you filled out your name in the ballot box. We got so much stuff to give away. People are going to have smiles on their faces a mile wide. So tell you what, I'm going to stop talking. We're going to get ready to get Bruce up here and start rocking for everybody. You guys ready for a good time? Yeah! Oh, what the hell is that? Are you guys ready for a good time? Yeah! That's what I want to hear. All right, man, stick around and we'll see you in a few.
Check, so the sun's all ready to go.
But that was like one of the first ones to come out. Nobody had the audio.
This is Madison Square Garden. This is in New York City, Madison Square Garden in July of '96 on a reunion tour with Paul Stanley. This is with Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley on the... this is myself and Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley in Binghamton, New York, upstate New York, on a reunion tour. Oh, I'm sorry, the farewell tour a couple of years ago. Paul Stanley, Madison Square Garden, backstage, July of '96 on the convention tour, reunion tour. This is my license plate off my car, Kiss Army.
Wow, probably a lot of people would like to have that plate.
I'm sure it took me a while to get it. This is in Dallas, Texas, again with my license plate. These are two friends of mine on a reunion tour, '96. And this is myself with the same two friends. This is in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on the Psycho Circus tour in '98 or '99. And then we have this one here. This is with Kiss Without Makeup in '93 in Los Angeles, California. I got it autographed by everyone.
So, let me just ask you, it may be safe to say you're the biggest fan out there.
Wow. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I like to think of myself as one of the biggest ones.
Tell me, again, in your travels, how many times you've been to shows, who you've met, and
I've seen Kiss perform live 190 times in 9 different countries over the course of 17 years.
is there something not quite right about that?
What's wrong with it? I keep out of trouble. I've never been drunk or high in my life, you know.
What is it about the band that keeps you coming back?
The makeup, the music, the show, the knowing them as people, getting to know them, fan/friend. It's new every time. The traveling, getting to see different parts of the world, meeting new people, different Kiss fans throughout the world, sharing in that common which is Kiss.
Certainly a lot of bands, that got their start in the 70s are long gone. What keeps these guys as the top merchandisers and conventions and fans like yourself?
Fans, the Kiss Army. That's why I have that license plate, Kiss Army. That's what it's all about. Without us, they would not be able to do this as long as they have been. And they've changed so many times throughout their career. They went through so many metamorphoses. That's why it's always fresh. You never know what to expect the next time they come around. And they're constantly touring. They've consistently toured all these years. A lot of these bands, they fall by the wayside, then they come back after so many years. Kiss was always putting a product out every year. And I myself, as a fan, am grateful that my favorite band of all time was there to release a record and a tour every year. I work for Verizon, a local telephone company up in New York City. Yes.
I can imagine your collection at home.
Oh, can't even describe it. It's worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's all packed away in my parents' basement, but I have the pinball machine, I have guitars and costumes and all the toys and the games, and I don't regret any minute of it. I've had a great time. I've met a lot of people. I've been all over the world. I've been to places that people will only read about in books, and it was all thanks to Kiss. I had a great time, and I've spent money, but I also traveled a lot, got to meet a lot of people, and they're a great band. Yeah. Mike Naimoli. N as in Nancy, A-I, M as in Mary, O-L-I. I'm from New York City.
Thanks, Mike.
That's not exactly this. That I had to learn my solo score from Revenge. I'll do some new stuff for my audio disc. One of you guys should grab me a disc when I need that, okay? One of my records. And you'll get the idea. Sound like something? Okay. I don't know. All right, so this first song, like I said, when we were doing the Revenge record, which I really think is the best non-makeup record, everyone agrees, yes. Actually, just one of the best Kiss records, period, actually, but definitely probably the best non-makeup one. Ezra was really strict, and you'll hear start.
Schroeder.
You're from Buffalo.
Yep.
You wanted to be all the way down here in King of Prussia today?
I've been to King of Prussia. I went to see Kiss in the Millennium. I went to see him in Japan when they toured with Eric Singer. I've been all over the country, Dodger Stadium opening show, conventions everywhere.
So what keeps you going?
The fun. Good, clean fun. Plus, people like it. So you got if they do it because people like it, I do it because people like it.
There's not a lot of bands back from the 70s still alive and kicking. Well, probably none like Kiss is. What is it that keeps the fans?
This is the uniqueness that they had. It's what brought them out. It was promoted properly. It was gunned. They worked and worked and worked, and they never would take no or we can't do it for an answer. And you boil that into your own brain, and you can become successful too. So I became a dentist. I wouldn't quit because they never quit, and they taught me that if you want to be something, just go for it, and don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, and don't stop until you get to where you're going.
So Kiss inspired you to be a dentist?
Well, they inspired my drive. No, they inspired me to be a Kiss freak. The dentist was the thing I wanted to do, but it's a long, hard road, and it's got to be as hard as theirs. But, you know, they taught me you can't get anything for free. You got to work.
Do you tell your patients what you do in your office?
I have pictures all over my office. I have borders in my rooms. I have a picture of us in Japan in front of the Tokyo Dome on the receptionist desk. Pics hanging from the lights. I have a smock that's got patches and buttons and embroidery. My brother's an embroiderer, and he really hooked me up.
I got to ask you then, how are their teeth?
I always thought they were pretty good. Peter's are kind of weird, but you know, that's only from a dentist standpoint. Lay people wouldn't even know.
Rich and Tony. You want last name? Yeah. All right. Catino, C-A-T-I-N-O.
Okay. Tony, T-O-N-I. K-O-S-T-U-K.
T-O-K?
U-K.
Where are you guys from?
Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's much difference.
What brings you out here today? Why are you here? Why you want to be here?
Well, a couple things bring us out here. First of all, we have a raffle going on for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and as you're aware of, the Make-A-Wish Foundation grants the wish of dying children. And we find that a very noble cause. And to tie that into music, what we decided to do was to take a guitar, get as many signatures as we could to sort of increase the wealth, and raffle it off. We wanted to give 100% of the proceeds to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
How much do you think you might be able to raise?
You know what? We're going to go for the top amount. We're just going to keep selling tickets until the drawing.
And we keep getting people signed it. We have all kinds of metal artists that sign it.
Just for this event, or
no, this is actually going on through our website.
Yeah.
Our website is www.thatsometal.com, and we are the web's premier metal site. We focus in on all styles and genre of metal music, and what we're trying to do is bring a rebirth to the metal community.
Now tell me about this push for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, Kiss has been pretty much the soundtrack to the background of everybody's lives who grew up from the 70s on. And if you were into metal music or rock and roll in general, you couldn't escape Kiss. And we thought it was pretty much an injustice that they were passed over. You know, with all the other bands that were being inducted, Kiss seemed very influential to all of the bands that were already being brought in. And we just thought that we as fans needed to band together and do what we could to bring it to the foreground.
I mean, to think, you know, a band from the 70s still has this following today.
Oh, it's amazing.
Merchandising and not what do you think?
It's absolutely
It's
amazing.
good. We're more focused on the music though, because people are kind of skeptical about it because they're saying, you know, Gene with the whole marketing thing that he's doing now, and he's selling everything from coffins to probably there's underwear and condoms and all kinds of wild shit, you know. So we want to make sure that people are going to sign the petition to get Kiss in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of their music, not because of what merchandise Gene is selling. Right, but I think people are kind of getting confused with that, so we want to make it important that people know that it's about the music and what they did.
How many albums do you have? You know,
offhand, oh my God,
28?
25?
28 maybe?
I mean, how many groups make 28 albums?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and still have lulls and come back, and
Right.
they keep coming back stronger every time.
Yeah.
And they're still performing today.
Oh, they certainly are.
Yeah.
Certainly are, both solo and together as a
How many
band.
you guys see?
Oh my God, I've seen Kiss at least 6 times.
I'm about 6 by myself. About 6 myself.
Very good, guys. That's all. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thank you.
Probably 250, 300 songs to choose from, right? I mean, if I talk about non-makeup stuff, I always remember the first time I heard Detroit Rock City, even though I knew some of their other songs, I was like, that song is so cool. I just liked all the parts and all the riffs and then the solo, which is why it's like one of those songs you could barely never drop from a set, you know. Really enjoyed the material. It's great that the band always had a lot of great songs. Some of them were very simple, but they were all really fun to listen to and play.
Were there ever any songs through the years you did with Kiss where there was a song where you weren't really thrilled about it, but you did it?
Yeah, well, I didn't have much choice, and you know, at that point it's about performing for the crowd, really. But certainly on Rock and Roll Night, I mean, because you do it all the time, you know, so you do get a little burned out on it. There's a little girl in a Gene Simmons Demon shirt that'd like to ask the question now.
Absolutely.
How many did I make? I guess about 8, maybe. I don't know. Let's count them down. Okay. Well, unofficially, can't really count the tribute record, right? Alive 3. Okay. Then Unplugged, and then Carnival of Souls. Well, did I say 8 before? I guess pretty good. Yeah. And then I helped out a little on Psycho Circus, but I got a gold record at home. So it's cool. Anyway, yeah. Right.
They replaced him with their singer.
Right.
This whole thing with Ace, did they approach you before they there?
Well, I've never been approached by them. I know that Tommy's probably not very comfortable, and I'm not sure if... I still don't necessarily believe that Ace won't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? These guys play some great... Well, it's pretty clear now.
Do you still get a thrill coming to these conventions, these expos, and talking with these fans?
Always, you know, the greatest thing is that the age group, you know, the age goes from about 8 or 9 years old up into the 50s. So no one would have believed that years ago. No, it never happened. Once they move on, which has not been the case with Kiss.
Right.
And I made a statement, I think, on, it was either 2020 or one of the other shows we did way back in the 70s, that someone asked me, do you think this will last? And I said, it'll last as long as the guys want it to last. Because they had something magical, and the fact that there were characters involved. Now, I left them when they decided to take off the makeup. At one point, they thought everything was just appealing to the kids, and they wanted to appeal to their peers. So they didn't want to keep the makeup, and they didn't want to do the merchandising. So that all ended rather quickly.
What year was that for you? That you?
82 was when I left. Yeah.
Yet, I mean, all these bands from the 70s, 99.9% are long gone. You never hear of. But look at this, and the merchandising, as I understand it, you know better than I. It's like the biggest.
Bigger than ever.
Yeah.
We were doing in the 70s, and you can acquaint this. In about 78, we were doing about 120 million a year. So if you double that, triple that, actually today it would be about $500 million a year. $500 million. Billion. That's what it would equate to if we were making what we did back then. Right. So it was a lot of.
And now they're still performing. They've had the reunion tours and so forth. And they're still going. You say as long as they want it to continue.
I think so. It really depends on how strong they are, and if they don't push it too far. You know, you can oversaturate a market like anything else. But you can see the reason they put the makeup back on again really was because of these conventions. They had gotten to the point where they really couldn't do a major tour because they weren't selling as much. And when they started to see how much the fans like the conventions, which means they like the makeup, they like the characters.
It's all part of it.
That's right, exactly. That's really what led them to. I used to battle with Gene and Paul all the time about you have to really go back to the original Kiss. And they really didn't want to do it. They had worked very hard, and Paul and Gene had worked very hard at putting it all together and keeping it all together. But they realized that somehow they had to do something, and the conventions is what brought it back. When they couldn't do their major tour a few years ago, they decided to do their own convention. When they saw the reaction of the fans, that led to the MTV situation. When they saw the reaction there, that finally closed it.
How many conventions are there every year about? Do you know?
Well, they're all over Europe as well, and in Australia. So there's got to be hundreds and hundreds. I mean, there's probably 25 good ones here just in the States alone. But they're in Canada, they're all over Europe. So.
And my last question for you, again, this is broadcast on regular TV. For folks who say, Kiss, I didn't know they were still around. What don't they know that these people get?
Well, a great fan, the great thing about music today, and everyone complains about downloading on off the net and everything else. The truth of the matter is, my real pet peeve is they don't try to build fans anymore. They try to put one song on a CD that sells or gets radio airplay, and if a fan buys a CD, that's not really a fan of the artist, maybe a fan of music, right? Then they'll come and go easily. The one song, and maybe there's 9 or 10 other songs that they don't really care about. So that's where the whole thing changes. That's where a music fan will go to the net and download what they like, right? As opposed to buying something that's an original. If you're a real fan of an artist, you'll go and you'll want the original. And that's the difference.
And not just that, you deal with marketing. You want to go to the shows. It's
Correct.
Not just listening to a song.
It's all part of it. And again, if you like one song and you think that that's all there is on a CD, you may go and see that artist when that hit song is on the radio. But when it goes, if the artist comes back around again, you won't buy the ticket to go and see them.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much. Let's
nice
grab
to
that
meet
mic
you.
off.